What's up, guys? I'm Welfare, and you're watching Welfare's Adventures.
So let's get to it real quick. This video is just going to be an introduction to the channel, what I plan on doing with it, and what we are doing here. Just giving you guys a layout. You know, I'm just going to be documenting my rides wherever I go, when I feel like it. You know, I've got the GoPro Hero 3 here. You know, it's kind of old, but it still works, still gets the job done for what I want it to do. And right now I'm using my iPhone 13 to record the audio that I'll be syncing up later on with this video. And I'm using my Cardo PackTalk Edge to run the mic into my phone. So, I've had a couple problems in the past, you know, where I had my phone in my pocket trying to record the audio and the audio stopped. So, I've got my phone up here, right, so I can make sure it's actually recording. You know, once I get around to it, I'm gonna order a lavalier mic to run on the inside of my helmet so I can just record the audio direct through the GoPro. I've seen a lot of guys do that. It seems to work out a lot better for them, you know, rather than trying to sync up audio later on. So, we'll see how this goes. But this is my first video that I'll be putting out. So it may be a little rough around the edges, but I'm sure it'll get better as time goes on. Hopefully there isn't a whole lot of wind noise or just excess droning inside this helmet. I've got the Harley Pilot 2 helmet here. The whole chin bar is removable. It's got the drop down visor. It's really a sweet helmet, honestly. It's comfortable. I've been wearing this helmet for a few months now, and honestly, if I had to get another one, I'd probably get the same thing, or, you know, they're made by Scorpion, I believe. Don't quote me on it, but Scorpion has a lot of the Evo or Exo Covert or whatever they are. Those Covert helmets look really cool. You can get a lot of different chin bars for them and stuff. And so I'm looking into that. And holy shit, it looks like it might rain here soon. Those are some pretty dark clouds right there. But right now, I'm playing around with the settings on the GoPro to see what works best, what I can do to get the best video quality I can, but still not have to like change SD cards every 30 minutes. So right now I'm recording in 2.7K, 30 FPS. The GoPro Pro Tune is on. I've got just the basic, you know, stock GoPro color settings on, so I won't have to do much post-processing, hopefully. So, like I said, we'll see how this goes. If this video gains any traction, you know, I'd appreciate it if you guys could just drop a comment. Tell me what you'd like to see, what you think I could do better. I'm gonna try to cut out on all the ums and ahs. I'm just, you know, winging this, trying to see what I want to do with this video. You know, it's kind of hard for me to think of things on the fly. I honestly give props to all the guys and girls that are on YouTube, and they do this stuff for a living and on a day-to-day basis, you know. I'm just an amateur. This is my first time trying this. And yeah, like I said, we'll just see how this goes. Right now, I'm just kind of out riding around, just gonna take some random turns, see where I go. As they say, you know, see where the road takes you. You're never truly lost. Especially on a motorcycle. You're never lost on a motorcycle. You just took an extended route. But right now I'm riding my 2005 Road King Custom. It's got 100,701 miles at the time of recording. It still runs damn good for being a 19-year-old bike with over 100,000 miles on it. I had to get in there, replace the cam chain tensioners and the oil pump, which huge shout out to my dad, who has all the tools and the know-how to be able to help me do that. And he was able to take it in, get it all fixed up, get it ready for me to ride this summer. And I have been enjoying it ever since. He put the S&S adjustable push rods in, gave an extra quarter turn so the valves have a little extra lift, and gave this old twin cam 88 a little extra oomph, you know. So when I get down on the throttle, she actually wants to go now, which obviously I can't show you guys because there's a whole lot of traffic in front of me. And plus, follow the traffic laws, don't speed, guys. But yeah, no, it's this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I've been just kind of scrolling through YouTube, watching all the people on there, like Shade Tree Surgeon, Her Two Wheels, Blockhead, you know, all those guys. They do really good work, and they're my inspiration for getting into this and starting a channel of my own. So I think this will. I'm not looking to get anything out of this, you know. I'm not expecting my channel to blow up like all these other people on YouTube, you know. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm not even looking to get money out of it because, like I said, this is just a little side project that I've been wanting to do for a good while, and I finally got around to doing it. You know, I picked up this GoPro off of Facebook Marketplace for 60 bucks. Shout out to the sweet old lady that sold it to me. Drove over an hour to go pick it up. So because if that's anything that I like to do, I like to find a good deal. I mean, shoot, the new GoPros, they're $300, $400, $500, and you know, that's great for the guys that can afford that, all these major YouTube channels that can afford to get a new GoPro every year. But for us small guys that are just starting out, you know, there's nothing wrong with picking up an older GoPro. I mean, they still function just the same. They just have some little, you know, less features. So there's nothing wrong with that. It would be nice to have a screen on it that I can preview my footage, but you know, luckily the Wi-Fi on this GoPro still works, so I'm able to just connect it to the GoPro app and preview it that way and tweak some settings in there. I'm also using the it's down here, the little GoPro wireless remote. You know, that's the easiest way for me to start and stop recording without having to reach up, fiddle with the camera. I can just reach down to my lap, you know, stop the recording or start it or tweak settings as I go, because the remote mirrors the little LCD screen on the front of the GoPro. So that's all well and good. Another thing about this bike with as many miles as it has on it. Oh, get it, buddy! One of the, that was cool as shit back there. Dude's on a four-wheeler just ripping donuts in a fucking field back there. But as I was saying, this bike, it's got a slight issue in fourth gear. It makes a whining noise when I'm in it. I think it's the fourth gear bearing is going out. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't have the time or money to tear into it right now to see if that's what's causing it, so I'll just ride it till the wheels fall off and the transmission blows up, whichever comes first. You know, it hasn't given me any problems yet, but I mean, it's just annoying hearing that whine while I'm going down the road. Hopefully you guys won't be able to hear it through the mic in my helmet, but it just bothers me. I was riding with one of my buddies and he looks over at me and goes, "What the hell is that sound?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it's just fourth gear. You know, my bike do that." So see, you give her some throttle and she really gets going. But also, another major gripe I have about the early 2000s Road Kings, I guess it's just any early 2000s Harley, but you know, my dad, he has an '06 Road King, and his has the same problem where the fuel gauge is not accurate at all. It's just there for decorative purposes. And I mean, I'll get like 60 miles on this tank and it'll be sitting on empty with the gas light on, and I've still got 4 gallons left in the tank, you know? So I need to figure out how to get that fixed. I'll probably just either replace it, or I'll get one of the flush mount ones with the LED indicator, and get the flush mount matching gas cap that just pops up. Those are real slick. They look cool. So I might do it. I might not. Who knows? I talk a lot of big game when it comes to doing stuff on my bike. I mean, eventually when I have the money to do it, I'm going to get a set of 36-inch straight pipe fishtails, and I'm going to put some 16-inch meat hook ape hangers on this. Because right now, these bars that, I mean, they're stock. When I got the bike, they were turned down, so my hands were down like right around here. And it was really uncomfortable. I mean, I'm taking turns and slapping my wrist against the tank. So I told the Harley dealer, "Hey, before I take it out of here, you know, I need y'all to turn these bars up so it's a little bit more comfortable." But then I realized, you know, whoever owned this bike before me, he dropped it. There's a small ding in the tank over here, and the bars are slightly bent. I mean, you can probably see it in the way my hands are. My right hand sits further back on this grip just so it's more comfortable. Because if I have it up here, my arms are at a weird angle. Because, like I said, I mean, they're bent. You can't see it, but you can definitely feel it. So I'm going to have to replace that because that bothers me. It's just uncomfortable sometimes. Plus, having my hands down, I mean, I'm 6'3", having my hands down underneath my chest for long periods of time, sitting like this, is not comfortable. I had a 2002 Honda Shadow 1100 before this, and I had it had 2-inch risers on it and 12-inch bars, I think they were. I mean, my hands were right even with my shoulders, so I mean, that was one of the most comfortable bikes I've ridden. I traded it in at the Harley dealer to get this because I only paid $2,000 for the bike. The Harley dealer offered me $3,000, so it was kind of a no-brainer. So I couldn't complain much about that. You gotta be careful on this road here. A lot of people like to come flying over these blind hills and curves, taking up, you know, 3/4 of the road or riding right down the center. And, you know, they'll come around that corner faster than you have time to react, like this guy here. It's funny how stuff like that works. You're talking about it, and all of a sudden, there's a prime example. I mean, that guy had to swerve over to avoid hitting me. I mean, I could get over a little more, but, you know, these roads have a tendency to slope off to the right, and it'll just kind of suck you into the ditch, and that's no fun. That's a bad day. Man, it is getting really dark out here. I think it might be time to take a couple turns and start heading home. I was hoping to get this video, make it a little longer, but you know, after I cut out certain things and cut out some of the awkward silences, try to edit out some of the ums and uhs, you know, or I might just leave it, who knows. But I don't have the waterproof backing on my GoPro housing right now, so I'd rather not get poured on and ruin the GoPro I just picked up. So I'm gonna pick up the pace here a little so I quit killing time. And the road ends here. I always forget about that. Nobody. Cool. Good. Never fails anytime I go to take a turn. Turn's cleared. As soon as I start to make a turn, someone comes flying up on me. And I wind up having to speed to get away from them. And they take that as they can follow me closer. So it's just a never-ending battle of me trying to get away from them and them trying to stay right up my tail. I don't understand why people have to follow bikes so close. Something you guys will have to get used to on my channel. Out where I live, out here in Central Virginia, there's a lot of cornfields. You'd think I'm out in the Midwest with the amount of cornfields you see around here. I mean, good Lord. As soon as you think it ends, there's more. There's always more. But, I mean, it's starting to become less and less nowadays because you got a lot of stuff like this out here where they're starting to develop areas that haven't been developed in the last 40, 50 years. And all these new houses right through here are starting to pop up. So, I mean, look at that house just popped up within the last like 2 months. Eventually, you know, once I start getting my setup a little more fine-tuned than just running the audio through my phone, I'd like to get a separate audio recorder and run a mic down there near the exhaust so you guys, you know, have that full immersion in the video. You get to hear the exhaust, a little bit of the wind noise. You get to hear my horrible voice rambling on. So it's all part of the experience there. So that is the one downside of running the Cardo to record your audio, is it's got a lot of noise cancellation on it. I mean, it's good at what it does for phone calls, like a lot of people say, you know, it cuts out a lot of the wind noise and exhaust noise for phone calls. But for trying to record a video where you want people to hear a little bit of that, it's not great. So I'm probably gonna splice in a little bit of the sound from my GoPro. I mean, you can't really hear a whole lot through it. I stuck a small block of foam with a rubber band around it and stuck that in the housing to try to minimize some of the wind noise, because on my first test run using the GoPro, I realized you couldn't hear anything above 15 miles an hour over the wind noise. So foam in there just helps to cut that back a little bit, so it's not just absolutely deafening. But when I'm going to edit this video, I'll probably go in and, you know, splice it in, make it just in the background so you have a little bit of something, so it's not just dead silence in the helmet and me talking. So and you know, over time, as I make these videos, like I said, I'm sure they'll get better and better as I get better with editing, as I get better equipment, you know. Like I said, I'm just starting out on YouTube. This is my first video I'll be putting out there. I'm new to this whole world. You know, I've just been watching a bunch of tutorials on YouTube on how to start this, how to do it, and how to get into the whole motovlogging scene. 'Cause I mean, there's a lot of people out there that do it. So there's a lot of good information out there that that is useful for getting your own setup to start your own channel. Like I said, I appreciate all of the people out there that do what they do to bring us the entertainment that we love and enjoy and can sit down and watch for hours. You know, they've been at it for a long time, a lot of these people. They've put in the hours to, I mean, between editing, recording, and just the time and money that goes into them getting their setups, it blows my mind. You know, you really don't think about it until you start getting into it on your own, and then you realize just how expensive it really is. Make sure I'm still recording here. Yep. I was on my way home from work this morning because I work night shift, and, you know, I was out riding around just trying to capture some footage, and I went to do a pull, and I look in the mirror to see if I was still recording, and the battery had died. So that's one other thing I'm gonna have to look into getting is, you know, a couple spare batteries to carry along with me, because I just have the one battery that came with the camera, and I mean, yeah, there's companies out there that still make them for the Hero 3, but it's kind of hard to come by them sometimes. I'll try to cut out some of the awkward silences. That way it's just not, you know, there's not like 2 or 3 minutes of me not saying anything, no sound whatsoever. Because if that's one thing that'll make someone click off a video faster than anything, it's just a long, awkward silence that it's not enjoyable. So I'll try, like I said, I'll try to cut some of that out. And once I get better equipment to be able to, you know, actually capture all the sounds, I'll be able to leave some of those long pauses between me talking in. But oh, I love how they did this here. That's real slick right there. Just some brick in the middle of the road. That stuff gets any sort of wetness on it, and I mean, good lord, it's worse than ice. Right there you can see on the screen that when I'm not talking there's no audio being recorded whatsoever. So that is an upside right there of me using my phone. I can visualize when I'm recording audio, when I'm not capturing something, so I know exactly when to cut stuff out, and, you know. So this is one huge learning curve to me. I mean, this was done on a whim. I was sitting there watching YouTube one night, and one of my buddies at work was like, hey, why don't you get a GoPro and put it on your camera, or on your helmet? And I was like, you know, no one would want to watch my stuff. And I was laying in bed one night, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it, I'm gonna do it. You know, it doesn't matter if people watch it or not. It's just, honestly, this is a side project for me to have some fun, me to get out. It's not like I need an excuse to ride my bike anyway, but it gives me even more of a reason to do it, you know. And eventually I'd like to get a second camera, put it on my bars somewhere, put it down here so I can get y'all two different angles, you know, one what I'm seeing, and another one of y'all being able to look at me, and I'll just jump cut between them, but that won't be anytime soon, you know. Like I said, recording equipment's expensive, GoPros are expensive. I'll just keep looking on Marketplace for cheap used ones that I can go out and pick up. I might even run 3 eventually, you know. Get one on the back of the bike so you can see behind me. But then we're getting into the territory of being too much stuff to handle at once. Too many batteries to replace, and, you know, too many SD cards to swap out. Who knows, maybe it's all talk, maybe I won't do any of that, I'll just always run the helmet cam. We never know. I think I may have found a good stopping point here in the video, because I'm getting closer to home, and, you know, I'd rather not blast out where I live on the internet. You know, it's not hard to find out there, but, you know, privacy is nice. I'd rather not show anyone where I live exactly, because there are a lot of crazy people out in the world that I don't know what gets into them, that they want to, once someone starts putting stuff out there, they want to come to your house and do all sorts of evil stuff, so we're not getting into that. But, guys, if anyone's out there watching this, if you liked the video, or hell, even if you did, drop a comment, like and subscribe, and guys, until the next one.